Kia ora. Welcome to Saturday, 15th of October 2022. This is my morning ramble. A little cloudier today. I think we are scheduled to have rain, possibly some thunderstorms this evening. We shall see. Might be some patches of sun. We'll play that one by ear. Tasks to do on the list today. Well, quite a bit to do. But mainly around getting some of the solar finished out. Just going to go into the shed, have a look around. There's an echo in here. So we have, sure if you can see these, 4 more panels to put up. And the ground arrays, the mounts have all been built out. So we'll be working on that today. Yesterday, Dawn and I removed all the last of the pavers and capstones and things that we bought for putting under the shed, and just put them in a safe place. Built a couple little makeshift steps in the meantime till we get some actual steps and work out what we're going to do there. So some cinder block steps, which you can kind of see in the background there, I guess. But anyway, so there's just some basic chores and things to do, and I'm still getting used to this accursed selfie stick thing. But that's the other ground mount there for the solar array. So we'll be working on getting 4 more panels and dropping those onto them, and then going to be crimping up a cable and we'll parallel that into the current array to basically, well, it won't actually double output, because the Delta Pro only pulls a maximum of 15 amps. Currently it's running at about 9 point something, call it 10. So we'll get basically the maximum that we can actually get from our current array into the Delta Pro is 1200 watts from 1600 watts of panels. So, and that's, assuming perfect conditions and blah, 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 blah. So the only way to really get more into it up to the 1600 watt maximum is to add some additional panels, which I do not have. We're still waiting on our address confirmation. So, getting postage and stuff here is probably a little challenging. But anyway, that kind of is what it is. What direction am I going to take this morning? A friend suggested rambling through some of the forests, but we haven't built trails and things yet. And while I can just kind of walk through the forests, I'm not sure I'm necessarily going to. So maybe I might wander over here just for a little bit of variation. It's still trees. Anyway, topic for the morning, apart from things that we're going to do today and tomorrow. Maybe not tomorrow because of the rain. Geopolitics again. I'm not sure if you're aware, but Sunday is the Communist Party's 20th big shebang event, and this is the Chinese Communist Party's big shebang event, and their revered leader Xi Jinping is probably likely to become, well, effectively leader for life, with unlimited powers from a Chinese perspective. Now, I could be wrong on this, because no one really knows until they know. But this has been coming for quite a while, and it's one of those things that hasn't really been talked about in the media a lot. And I guess now they're starting to wake up a little and go, oh, that could be interesting. Much like Putin had a stint where he basically handed down to Medvedev for a term, and then took it back over and extended all the powers and stuff that he had to effectively, become president of Russia, or leader of Russia, for pretty much until he dies or gets cooed out or whatever. But anyway, China. So this is a thing to keep an eye out for, because at the moment there's a lot of checks and balances that do actually occur across the road. A lot of checks and balances that do actually occur within, the Chinese Communist Party. It's not all headed up by one single person. It is headed up by a small number of very powerful people, no doubt, but handing that off to effectively a single person is as effectively dictator for life. Let's throw the Roman elements in there. Could go well, but do you really think so? I don't know. History will prove this out. So we have a lot of stuff that's going down in Ukraine at the moment, and a lot of one-sided or skewed or misreported or misinterpreted. I don't like that term, misinformation. I think it's disinformation is a whole different thing, but misinformation means that you're probably really stupid because you just listened to one side of things and didn't actually go and do your homework. No offense intended to anyone who solely lives their life based on that, but these are my opinions. Where was I going with this? So a lot going on. This is just one more thing. And I don't know how extensively this will get reported or relayed out. Maybe it will after Sunday. There might be a bit of hoo-ha on mainstream media, and they'll go, "Oh, whoa." The spectre of Taiwan is always there, always present. Here in America, we will, play our "we're staunch allies" and blah 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 card, but ultimately, it's another nail going in that being driven in to whatever shape our world is going to be in the next 50 years, 100 years, 10 years, or if it goes horribly bad, 1 year. Let's hope it doesn't come to that, right? But I'm an optimist, so it's effectively shaping up. One chunk, or the Eurasian chunk, in conjunction with the relationships between India and Russia and China, South Africa, it's shaping up to be very much an East versus West delineation in an almost real Cold War sense. And I'm sure that that's always been there. It just hasn't really been as exacerbated or obvious, I guess, than it has now. And what does this mean for us? Well, for me and mine, I guess, it's business as usual. The whole point of being a little more aware of what's going on around the globe, and I could talk about this for hours, I guess, but I'm not going to. The whole point here is you just have to keep your eyes open, and I mentioned it before, it's prudent to make sure that you have some resources ferreted away that are not strictly bound in normal transactional standards. I'm not meaning go all out and buy crypto, and some people do, that's fine, you do you. What I mean is you need to make sure that you've got, water put aside, and make sure that your medical kits are up to date. Don't bankrupt yourself doing this. Things are hard enough as it is, with inflation being as rampant as it is. It was the thing, 97% of CEOs in a recent poll predict recession in the next 12 to 18 months. I would argue that we're well within that, but it's being artificially propped up, or intentionally artificially propped up. And what happens is, when you're basically being artificially propped up, being propped up when you're to stop you sinking into the swamp, and the swamp is getting deeper and deeper and murkier, at some point when those supports go away, that fall is going to be a lot bigger and a lot harder. And there are a lot of people who will be poised to make a lot of money as a result of this, because when true recession hits and housing markets collapse and people can't afford rent or mortgages and things get really tight, then there's always someone to come in and save the day and buy these things out for cents on the dollar, pennies on the dollar. And anyway, probably a rant for another day. Yeah, the China thing, definitely something to watch. Like any good strong leader of a strong, proud nation, leaving a legacy is very, very important. For someone like Xi Jinping, you can't help but think, what kind of legacy is he aiming for his place in the history books, should there be history books in the future? Let's assume that there are. Reunification of Taiwan is, I would strongly suggest, if it's not at least got a big underscore running underneath it, it may even have two towards the top of the list. And having the full backing of the Chinese Communist Politburo behind him. I don't think it's a case of at what cost. I think it's a case of go forth and do it. And I hope I'm wrong, because I have friends from Taiwan who I think are awesome, and this would not be great by any means or stretch. However, these things are bigger than us. The desires of some would say evil men know no boundaries. We will continue to work on our little chunk of Tennessee here as we move into week 3. Didn't promise I wouldn't count weeks. Anyway, I think we've achieved a good chunk, but we've still got a long way to go. Dawn is probably going to head to Ohio. I've got a fairly nasty, well, not nasty, but a project transition or ending coming up. It's going to get pretty busy for a while, so I may or may not be able to ramble on those days. We'll just have to see. Or if I do, that may be later in the day. Might be more of an evening ramble. But the kicker for us is staying the course. This is a plan that we've had in mind for a very long, well, it feels like a very long time. It's well over a year. But it really wasn't until I got the job in Tennessee that we really doubled down. So I'm kind of looking back and thinking we've achieved a lot in Well, that was back in Feb. You know, we didn't secure the land until late March or so. So April, May, June, July, August, September. Well, okay, let's call it 8 months. And that 8 months has involved planning this move and executing it while still maintaining full-time jobs and family and everything else as well. So huge kudos and pat on the back to my wife, Dawn, for her organisation and skills on this, because there's been, you know, normal stuff going on around that as well. It hasn't all been just working on this. But it is great when things, with a few speed bumps, come together and we're in the place that we are now. And as we get more settled in, it means we can go out and catch up with local friends. Some have already been out to meet us, Ken and Nathan, thank you very much. And hopefully we'll get to a point where, in the not too distant future, where we're comfortable enough that we have everything in place that we can, you know, have friends over and do that whole winter grill out thing, or spring if it takes that long, grill out thing. And then it won't be too long before we pretty much have everything gone from Ohio and move well into the next phase. So just steps along the way, and as long as the world doesn't all turn to complete crap in the middle of it, which I think would really just hurry things up, then we shall stay the course and we'll see how we go. Anyway, longer ramble than usual, it wasn't intended. Thank you for sticking around this long in the chat. If you like, don't forget to subscribe. Dawn likes that. She likes to see a few numbers go up every now and again. It's appreciated. I try to post these on a morning basis. Plenty of videos explaining why this is happening. I am perfectly okay to hold chats and comments. If you want to post some comments up, I will get around to reading them and feedbacking on them. I reserve the right to change my mind. This is a moment in time as far as I'm concerned. And as has been said and will continue to be said, I will look back on some of these and go, what the hell was I thinking? But anyway, this also helps my own declutter my brain a little bit and helps me focus on stuff too. So if you find some pearls of wisdom, if you find something that's of interest, by all means go and look it up, do some research. Not here to change people's minds on things at all, just here to provide my own opinions and views and talk a little bit about what we're doing. And now I'm going to have a cup of coffee. Oh gosh, and then I'm going to sneeze, as apparently that's what you do at the end of videos to mark the end. So that's oh my god, it's the Rona. No, it's not. It's just a change in temperatures, I think. Anyway, be well. I'm going to punch the shiny red stop button and try and get this uploaded. Take care. Kia ora. Bye.